Hello everybody and welcome back to Odin's Movie Blog. I am the critic who is a cynic. Hope you're doing well. And today we're talking about some big directing news because, guys, I don't know if you realize this, but the only thing that matters, the most important thing, the primary thing that matters when casting a movie, when choosing a director, when choosing a writer is their race and gender. At least that's what Hollywood wants us to think. They continue to try and push this narrative down our throats that it matters, that our skin color, that our gender defines who we are as people. Now, I'm not going to deny that it can influence who we are as people, but to try and say that our gender or that our race is what defines us as people puts everyone into these tiny little boxes. And guess what that does? It isolates us from everyone around us. And some of you might say, you know what, Odin, you're overblowing this. You're taking this a little too far. You're overreacting. But I'm sorry, when I see this nonsense, this identity politics nonsense, that's what it is, being brought into films for directors, writers, actors, what it does is that it perpetuates this negative implementation of something that should not exist. What you are doing, whether you realize it or not, is when you put articles out like this, and when you make decisions because of these thoughts, you are, in a way, discriminating. Choosing people, and talking about people, and praising people for their race, for their gender, is making a judgment on someone based on their race and on their gender. Last time I checked, if I were to make any judgment on anyone for those reasons, that would make me a hater, a racist, a sexist. But when you praise for those same reasons, oh, no, that's fine. That's nuanced. That's nuanced. That's progressive. No. Equality is equality. Looking at people as people is what equality is. Choosing someone because they're the best damn person for the job, that is equality. No matter what their race, no matter what their gender is. And so when articles like this come out, the question that immediately gets put onto anyone's mind is, well, is this the reason why they chose this person? And again, do I know that? No, I do not know the reason why. For all I know, this person could be a fantastic director. But the problem is that when the media and when Hollywood continue to perpetuate this into our culture, into our society, and into our films now, what it's going to do is that it's going to further divide people. Our country has never been more divided than it is now. And people can say there's a multitude of reasons why that's the case. But the one thing that's been consistent in all this, because presidents come and go. You know, politics comes and goes and changes constantly, evolves constantly. But the thing that's been consistent is Hollywood. Hollywood has always been the same. Hollywood has always been obsessed with this identity politics nonsense. And it's just totally destroying our society and our culture. And I will call it out every damn time I see it. And you can call me whatever name it is that you want to call me, because at the end of the day, I don't care what you call me. I can take it. I've got thick skin. I've been doing this now for several months. I have thick skin. I've been called a variety of different names. And you can call me all the things that you want to call me, because I know what I am. I know what I believe. I know who I am. I know what I stand for. And so go right ahead and take your shots. But I'm sorry, this right here is just nonsense. Marvel gets first woman of color director for the Eternals. Why isn't it just Marvel gets a new director? Why is it woman of color? Why are people in the media so obsessed with having to identify every single damn person? It just boggles my mind. These same people who try and fight for equality, who try and fight for, people being treated the same, have to constantly treat people differently because of their race and gender. Are you telling me that if the director for the Eternals was there, you would not have said another white director gets cast? What? I mean, it doesn't. So it doesn't matter. It's just, again, if we're talking about true equality here, race and gender should not matter. When I look at a person, when I judge a person, I base them based off their content, based off their character, based on the things that they say, because that's what defines a person. A person's character defines who they are. Their skin color, their race, their gender, their religious background, do those maybe play a part in how they grow up? Sure. You could say that there's influences there. Absolutely. I'm not going to deny that no one can be influenced by these things. But if you are defined, if your defining characteristic is your race, is your gender, you are isolating yourself from everyone else around you. You are causing more and more division. Articles like this are causing more and more division. Again, you can say I'm overreacting, but I'm sorry. As soon as I read this headline, I thought to myself, why? Patricia Hernandez, why do you and so many people try to divide people constantly, putting people into these boxes? It's just not good. It's not good for our culture. Anyway, this is a short article today, guys. So, The Eternals, A Tale of Cosmic Beings, created by Jack Kirby in the 1970s, now has a director, Chloe Zhao, a Chinese, or Zhao, sorry, I think that's Zhao, a Chinese filmmaker who is known for working on indie projects, says The Hollywood Reporter, and that seems to be a never-ending trend of indie directors being brought in on big films. We see it happen with Star Wars, didn't really work out too well in most of those situations, and now we see it happening with Marvel. And again, I honestly don't know. I've never seen anything that she's done. Again, she's done indie films, so I mean, maybe she could handle a big budget film, but it's not always a guarantee. It's not always a guarantee. So I'm gonna take this just like I would take anyone else from any other background with a pinch of salt. Just because she happens to be oh my goodness, the first woman of color director, just because that's the case, that doesn't make her any better or worse than anyone. She is a director of indie films, of small budget films. So she could be good, she could be bad. But guess what? It has nothing to do with her race or gender that makes her either good or bad. So you trying to prop her up already by saying, oh my goodness, look at who we have here, is not helping the situation at all. The Eternals is a comic about an Earth with two races that eventually led to mutants. Eternals can live for a long time, yet they are not immortal, and they use their talents and advanced technology to protect humanity. With Avengers 4 coming out next year, the studio is looking ahead to what comes next for the franchise. Earlier this year, Marvel head Kevin Feige said the Eternals was one of the many, many things that we are actively beginning to have creative discussions about when it came to post-Avengers phase, the franchise. So again, I mean, that's cool. Again, it's cool for them to be trying to reach out, look to the future, look to, what projects they're going to want to do, what heroes they're going to want to talk about, because obviously Avengers 4 is going to be the big one. It is going to be the film that defines the future of the franchise, and it's going to be also telling us very clearly if Kevin Feige is going to try and embrace this identity politics into his film or not. Some people think it's Captain Marvel. I think Captain Marvel might give us a hint, but Infinity War, or rather part 4, because it's the sequel to Infinity War, I think will tell us a little bit more than that. In general, this marks a shift for Marvel, which is appointed. Oh my goodness. Oh, and here we go. Identity politics. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, and I didn't even get to the other. It will mark the first time that a woman of color has directed a film for the superhero studio, which has long relied on white men to helm its film. Oh, the evil white man. Oh God, they're so evil. Oh, white men are evil. Evil, evil, evil. At least that's what the culture, that's what Hollywood would want us to think. In general, this marks a shift for Marvel, which is appoint a woman to direct Black Widow. Oh my goodness, it's a woman. How about a talented director? Can't say that. No, it's a woman. Gotta make it very clear it's a woman. And we'll finally get its first woman-led superhero movie with 2019's Captain Marvel, played by Brie Larson. Yes, the boring Brie Larson. Again, I say that not because she's boring, because I do like her in almost any movie that she's done. But the trailer, she has the same tone and the same voice throughout the entire trailer, and she looks bored. She looks so damn bored. And so, yeah, let's talk about that movie right now. Yes. Captain SJW. Let's talk about that identity politics. Zhao filmography includes movies such as Songs, My Brothers Taught Me, as well as The Writer. Okay. So 2 movies, 2 indie films. Maybe there were indie hits. I don't know. But, I mean, for me, if male, female, doesn't matter. If that was what I was presented with, I'd say, yeah, I'm kind of worried, because any indie director who's given a lot of money, it's not always guaranteed. We've seen indie directors do well. We've seen indie directors do poorly. It happens. So already trying to put her already on this high shelf just because of her race and gender, to me, is disingenuous, and in the end, it's actually racist and sexist. But hey, it doesn't work that way. It only works one way. It only works one. Only I mean, and this is a woman writing this article, so she can't be sexist. It just can't be. But I can, because I'm just a white man. I'm just evil incarnate. I'm just the devil incarnate. Let's be honest, because the most vilified group of people in today's society are white men. Let's just be honest about that, at least when it comes to Hollywood and the media. But anyway, guys, what are y'all's thoughts about this? Do you care? Do you care that it's the first woman of color director for the Eternals? Does that matter to you? Does someone's race and gender matter to you, or does their track record matter to you? Does their ability matter to you? Because in the end, I thought that's what's supposed to matter, is not the color of your skin, not your gender, but the content of your character. That's what I've always been taught, and that's what I've always believed, but apparently the media and Hollywood just don't seem to get it. So guys, I would love to hear your thoughts about this. Please let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe. Really does help me a lot. Help me out a lot. What am I saying? Guys, you are awesome. I'm so very, very thankful for you guys. We are just growing constantly. It's been an amazing experience. Not going to be live streaming tonight. I might be playing with some live streaming tonight, but it's going to be depending on my phone and my connection, because I'm going to try and check it out in a certain location, and I'll keep y'all posted on that going forward. But tomorrow night we will be streaming, or rather we'll be watching together on our live stream. We're watching Blade Runner, the original, the final cut. And so I'm very excited for that. So please join us for that if you've never done so already. The movie nights are a lot of fun. We're usually a smaller crowd, but we do have a lot of fun here. And also, guys, I want to give a huge shout out right now to my Valkyries. I mentioned them in my last video, but I want to give a huge shout out. Stephanie and Tina, you are all amazing people. I love you so much. Y'all are fantastic. They help me out so much, and you know, you think that you know what they do, but then when you go behind the scenes, you realize just how much they do for my channel, how much they do to help me out and keep me sane, and they're just awesome. So Stephanie, Tina, if you're watching this right now, thank you so much. You are both so amazing, and I'm so glad that you're a part of my life and a part of this channel. So thank y'all so much for watching. Have a great day, and as always, God bless.